Hello and welcome back to a very special video. It's the 10K special. That's right. We are doing a YouTube video celebrating the fact that we hit 10K subscribers. And thanks to the vote from the community, we will be doing a reaction to Homebrew. Justin, our amazing community manager and member and editor and all the stuff for Obojima, was able to collect a handful of Homebrew from the Obojima Discord. And now we're just going to go over it. We have yet to react to any of these. And so we're just gonna talk about them. We're gonna look at them, and there's quite a wide variety of options. And we're starting with the Paladin Oath of Delivery. Why did I say that like it was a question? I know what we're starting with.
Could this be?
Could it be? This is a Paladin subclass that is based off of the Courier Brigade.
And I love right away, they're like religious archetypes. In Obojima, there are no deities of any sort. Paladins draw their strength from their devotion to ideals and the natural magic that comes from a person who dedicates their life to their beliefs.
Someone
here
has done their research.
Right away.
Kudos to
this,
you.
This fine human.
I actually, right off the bat, my immediate thought of having a Paladin of the Courier Brigade works.
Sweet.
Yeah, I love it. The second paragraph here on their kind of intro text. Not all Courier Brigade members are full postal knights, but paladins that take the oath of delivery are strong contenders for this position and integrate the code of the Courier Brigade into their daily life. Like, it's really interesting that, again, so not all Courier Brigade members are going to be postal knights, and not even all postal knights are paladins, but these paladins aspire to be postal knights is pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Deliverance through delivery, which is great. That's a RE special here.
Yeah,
but it works so perfect as a tenant to a Paladin.
Like serving the community is the fastest way to personal growth.
Yeah.
That's right. Protect the parcel. While traveling, you are responsible for the safety of the goods and people you are escorting, even with your own life. And then no call unanswered. There is no destination too far or a trip too dangerous.
Great.
This person understands.
They get it.
Who is this writer? Let me find it.
Get it.
Let me hunt down the writer really quick because we have the list. All right. So this is the... Oh my gosh. I just saw on the list there's farmer subclasses.
Boy.
Everybody. That's insane.
Just for you.
Oath of the Delivery Paladin is by Alvarok 42.
Alvarok 42.
Alvarok 42, you get it.
You get it.
You get it. They've got summon vehicle and armament, which I think both align very well. At your side and object here. Both of them I went in and talked about in my spell creation to talk about the fact that they are aligned and were created by the Courier Brigade. So the fact that these are now being integrated by the Paladins are great.
I love in their oath spells, they have Leomund's secret chest.
Yeah.
Which is perfect for a deliverer of packages. You would have to say this chest instead of, I think in the spell here I'm looking, that the spell exists on the ethereal plane, but this would be in the spirit world, in the spirit realm.
So the channel divinity, starting off, when you take this oath at 3rd level, you gain the following channel divinities: Stamping Smite and Group Protection. So for Stamping Smite, you stamp a magical stamp on an enemy. We've kind of talked about a stamp-based class that does something simpler or similar. For 1 hour, you always know the direction towards the target and double your proficiency bonus on attack rolls against it. That's pretty cool.
Very cool.
I like that quite a bit. And then group protection. Choose a number of creatures up to your charisma modifier that you can see. Each creature gains 2d6 temporary hit points and does not provoke opportunity attacks during the first round of combat.
Because I think in world, as a Courier Brigade Paladin or is going back and forth doing their job, there might be merchants that are just like, hey, the Courier Brigade's going out, let's kind of go along with them because they're warriors, they know the routes, they all do that, and this spell would be perfect for that.
I think I like a lot of this. I think one thing that I would like to see, and the channel divinity is such a monumental part of a paladin. And the group protection is very much about people, and we know that the Courier Brigade can protect people and stuff like that. But Stamping Smite, being obviously it's more aggressive. It's about marking an opponent. But there's something, I don't know how to do this, but if there's something we can do with something like this that was about the thing, about the parcel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think what would be great is when building out the channel divinity, think about how these channel divinities work in conjunction with the Waxwork Rogue, because these members would most likely be working together to deliver packages. And so think about how the Waxwork Rogue's common abilities might interact with channel divinity, which is what you're going to be using all the time. That said, Aura of Camaraderie, great name, and I already love it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm moving in a group and I'm sharing damage. Basically, like, you can split damage. I think that's great. I think that's a really smart way to use the aura for the Paladin that's not combat oriented. I mean, it's combat oriented, but that's not damage dealing oriented. And then I'm skipping over 15, but I'm jumping straight to 20. Postmaster Paramount.
Before you do, I just want to say one thing real quick about Swift Delivery.
Yeah.
This to me feels like something that I could imagine being even earlier than 15. Like the idea of speed being increased and your mount, you get like the Pony Express vibe. This feels like something that you could see the lone, postal knight riding on like this swift horse or, bicycle or whatever, just flying down the road and with the parcel under an arm or something, There's something about that I like.
Red letters, Express Delivery.
Yeah. It could be that maybe that's one of the channel divinity options is you get this like speed boost for a small, like you really push and get this blast of speed. And then it would open up your 15th level ability. So as a bonus action for Postmaster Paramount, as a bonus action, you imbue your aura of protection with power, getting the following benefits for 10 minutes. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again. So you get Protector. Creatures within the aura have disadvantage on their attacks against your allies. Pacifying Presence. Enemies that start their turn with the aura must make a wisdom saving throw or be pacified. Any creature of your choice within the aura can use dash, disengage, or hide as a bonus action. So essentially the rogue specialty cunning actions. And then we have a little quote from Postmaster Miranda Escalante.
That's great.
A letter isn't just a piece of paper. A package isn't just a box. These things bind the island. They connect us. If a postal night fails, the heart and mind of Obojima stop working.
Woof. Yeah,
Great.
buddy.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Yep.
Great. Great job. I'm not going to rank all these,
super fun.
so that way people don't have. But very good.
Very on flavor.
Yeah,
it's great. Yeah, they really paid attention.
They put the energy in. I'm itching to see what this calendar looks like.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8. Interesting.
It's an 8-month.
And there's only 6 days in the week.
Whoa.
You said no Gregorian for me.
Yep.
No Gregorian for me because, baby, it's Tides Day.
Yeah, it's
okay. So
the third day of Amber Deep.
Each day is Moon's Day, Tides Day, Wind's Day, Roots Day, Flame Day, and Star Day. Which there's some of this that I think is interesting. I think when making a fantasy calendar, it's really difficult because in general, people want to understand what's going on. So like in order for that, you want to use the Gregorian calendar as a base. But then at the exact same time, you don't want to use like Wednesday because that feels less fantasy.
Yeah.
So like we're in this hard thing where it's like to make a really fleshed out world, we would build out our own custom calendar that's just like this, where everything is unique. But then that's fine when you're reading and it doesn't come up often. But when you put it in a D&D game, it gets like, it can bog things down when like the DM's like, Happy Tide Day. It's, in year 45 in the Age of Dara during Suncrest. And you're like, man, I don't know what that means.
No farmers, no calendars.
No calendars.
What kind of agrarian society are you building here, sir? Ask you.
That being said, I think tying the days to the ocean is kind of interesting. I know each one, there's moon and tide. I'd almost wonder if you could use the days, connected to the phases of the moon potentially is an interesting way of doing it. I also really like Root Day made me think of, or no, maybe it wasn't Root Day, but someone somewhere early on here, there's like Bud, Snow Rest, and Dawn Bud. And it made me think of like having the days represent the phases of a flower, specifically the dawn blossom tree, right? Starting at a bud and ending in a flower. Having it, each day representing one of those phases is kind of interesting.
How many phases are there?
Well, we'd have to make 7.
Well, and they have to be intuitive, like at least a sequence.
Yeah.
Like the
flowers would later bloom into a fruit in a lot of cases. Yeah. So you could go from bud to fruit to seed if you wanted to, and then back to tree, and then you could start back over again.
I always go back to like what if I'm a DM and I'm saying something like this is the 3rd bud day of the month. What well, or the 3rd flower day or whatever it is, right? Like
again,
like sometimes if I need to communicate just like a time and an amount of time that's longer than a day and less time than a month, like D&D on the Forgotten Realms, they have the 10 day.
Yeah,
that also is not only is it not a week, so it doesn't feel mundane, it's also super intuitive what it is. It's a 10 day.
Yeah.
It's 10 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not tied to anything in a world that I have to know in order to understand this, other than this is they don't do weeks here.
Yep.
Got it. Okay. It's so is it 4 10 days to a month? I don't remember at this point. But I don't remember. Or 3, I guess it would be 3 10 days to a month if it was 30 days. Trying to find something that is intuitive but also charming, right? Like that's part of it. Otherwise, why? Is there, if we're doing a year is 365 days, that's helpful for people understanding how old their character is in terms of, because we think in years.
Yeah.
So if I say somebody's 8 years old and there are, let's say, only 200 days in a I don't know what, like, it's very hard for me to get a grasp of what 8 years old means then, right? In terms of intuiting it without putting a lot of mental energy into understanding what that means. And so, I guess if we wanted to, what I like about this calendar is that there are a lot of the month names are kind of intuitive. Like if you have like, let's see, like some of them, like Duskmire, Bloomfall, Suncrest, like these are all things, like Verdance, I think is a good one. Like these are all like the warming solstice. So they have little markers within the calendar. So these are all things that I think are really cool. And even if I didn't know anything about the months, and I say this is the first day of the week, and in this month, you come to this village in the warming solstice, right? I don't need to know the months. What's the warming solstice? Oh, if that's the warmest day of the year or something like that, or it's the long, something that akin to like that's the beginning of summer, or whatever it is. Oh, the warming solstice, which means the next one. The planting solstice.
Got it.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's all I really need to know is that the months are the functions, right? Like then it's just by the start of that month.
That's interesting. This person almost does it with Moon's Day, Tide's Day, Wind's Day, Roots Day, Flame Day. Like if it was 7, you could just simply go off at the first letter of the day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you kind of understand what's going on. But because we skip Thursday, and then we add, or I guess we replace Thursday with an R, and then there's Flame, and so it kind of doubles up on itself. But that's another way of doing it when you're naming these things, is if you're gonna go as deep or as as much as naming the days, you want someone to go. When I say the middle day of the month or of the week, you go, oh, Wednesday, and it's close enough that I can comprehend what you're trying to tell me.
Wednesday is, it's close enough.
Yeah.
Which I think it's clever. It's an approach that like I haven't really seen before.
Yeah.
It keeps it intuitive.
And I think they've got some, pretty intuitive, like Bloom Fall is kind of like an autumny day, or the end of summer.
Yeah.
Amber Deep. Well, okay, the amber colors of fall.
Yeah. You have dived down a fairly hard and difficult challenge, which is a calendar for a fantasy world. Ash 5150. I give you 7 out of 9 Moonsays. All right, for this next one, let's do this NPC, Boro the Burdened. Okay. A solitary wanderer with a gentle soul and warrior's heart, Boro is a small rhinoceros beetle.
Immediately, I'm all on board.
10 out of 10.
Who carries
10 out
a
of 10.
massive greatsword across his back and a daisy and a clay pot atop his head. Oh, this is this artwork. It's clicking together. We have artwork for this character. At least I think we do. This is the artwork, right? There's a daisy pot on that beetle. We have a beetle character. We have a beetle character I believe in the back of the book saying goodbye, everyone.
There it is.
Yep, sure is.
Despite his size, he bears burdens, physical and emotional, far greater than many creatures twice his stature. His glowing lantern, strung delicately from his horn, is lit by his companion Firefly. Shines with unwavering hope through the darkest nights. He is a small beast. He is very tiny.
Yeah.
He is a tiny one. He's a small beast, 30 hit points, all the fun things. It knows Sylvan.
Yeah.
All right, traits. So Boro's natural armor gives him an AC of 15. He has his beetle horn, which does a D6. He can climb, including up surfaces and ceilings, and then also has a small but sturdy. What does he have?
He's small but sturdy.
He's small but sturdy.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go. He has a small but sturdy. It's how I'm reading it. Leave me alone. He counts as one size larger when determining carrying size.
Yeah.
He's got fighter features. He's got second wind. He has action surge. He's got improved critical from the champion, and he has a great sword and a potion of growth. And a knapsack, which contains dried moss.
Well, yeah, for lighting fires.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm. And a bug-sized leather journal.
You know what's interesting? I've never thought of this character as being tiny. I always imagined him as being full
he's not
size.
Tiny. He's small.
Oh, he's small. Pardon me. A full-size human.
Oh, he has other equipment. It keeps going on the next column. He has a lantern horn.
Yes.
Tiny lantern tied to Boro's horn, lit by a glowing firefly. It sheds 10 feet of bright light and 10 feet of dim light.
Nice.
A purple daisy.
Oh.
Nestled in a clay flower pot tied gently to Boro's head. And a white t-shirt. Surprisingly clean shirt that fits snugly over his carapace.
That's great.
Aw.
His personality, he's a hermit. He once found a glade where time slowed.
Ooh.
Nice.
Now he seeks the flower that watches.
What is that?
I am curious about this.
That makes this a winner.
Yeah.
This is a bug on a mission.
This is a bug.
Even the smallest being can carry the heaviest sword with honor. Like, this guy is, like, not only is he adorable, but he's got a heart of a champion.
He's got the eyes of a tiger.
Yeah, the firefly in his lantern is his lifelong
right
companion. That's his bond. He's bonded to this firefly, which means that if you're a DM, you imperil that
Don't
firefly.
do it.
Yep.
Don't do it.
Because
then that would turn our friend Boro the Burdened into a slayer.
Well, you'll make an enemy of me as well.
Oh man, yeah.
That's right. Boro the Burden lay waste to the Gale Fields.
Yeah. He just becomes like a murder machine.
Where's that video game?
I play
the game.
I take my enemy to the field that's slow so I can watch you bleed slowly.
You will not escape
Your
me.
shrieks music to my ear.
Flaw, convinced he is destined for heroic death, Is that a flaw? I don't think so.
Honestly,
I think that's awesome.
every day I try to
charges into danger for dramatic effect.
Oh, there you go.
That's the flaw.
I stopped reading. Yes, often charges there. So that is a flaw for sure. Quirk hums through his carapace when focused or emotional.
I think this quote by the old Glade Spirit really, really puts a little bow on this whole package. Heavy lies the burden on small shoulders, but Boro carries it with grace. Okay, let's see here. A list of 80s themed and otherwise Obojima core items can be found with my own version of Obojima. Oh, I don't keep this list fully updated as it's a copy pasted from my Obsidian notes, so feel free to reach out if you feel like something is missing, something needs to be updated or changed, or you have ideas. You can comment on this doc or ping me on Discord. Be witty o.
Be witty o.
Okay. This is interesting because we have a similar running list
yeah.
of Obojima style items. So they've got boombox, cigarette lighter on a stick, joysticks, laser discs.
Back in ye olde days, there were record player, like record size laser discs, and throwing those. Yes, I think those would be a lethal weapon.
Throwing those?
Yeah.
You can also blind people.
That's true.
Reflect light with those.
Plasma ball?
What?
What's a plasma ball? Is that the thing that's like the little
Tesla
thing
coil or whatever?
and
You put your finger on it. It's like neat.
That's interesting. Soda cans. Explodable?
Explodable? Question mark.
Question mark?
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I love the versatility. Soda can is either a standard healing potion or it's a grenade.
Which
force
one is it?
damage.
A force damage.
Yeah.
Poof.
I wonder if you have like that plus a Mentos. You could just like pop it in there and blast cannon.
This is interesting. A Yadaman sweatshirt.
Sorry, I'm on wrist calculators.
Your
calculator.
You have advantage on charisma checks when speaking with neutral or friendly people that are living in Yadaman. Death saving throws count as a success die. A success on a die roll of 12 or higher.
That's some powerful.
I'm curious what the story is there.
That is interesting. Like why? Wait, death saving throws count as success on a die roll of 12 or higher. Isn't that going the opposite direction? I thought success rolls were success on a roll of 11 or higher.
I'm just curious, like, why? Like, what's the story here? Like, that's really interesting if that's the case. But that's so interesting.
That is interesting. He also has mechanics garbs, witches robes, overalls, faction outfit. It matches the insert faction. Whoa, and you gain the feat related to the faction if you wear them.
Woo.
That's what I wish I could do in real life.
Is put on like mechanic overalls and fix your car.
Yep.
Yeah. They have some powerful overalls.
River skin chest piece. Weave from the grasses in the Din River.
Interesting.
That is very interesting. Gives advantage on checks to avoid being grappled. Gain swimming speed and walking speed.
Because you're slippery like Din.
Just like
I like
Din.
that. I like the little extra story thought going in there.
Split weave tunic. Crafted in the spirit realm with magical essence. The shirt is impossibly light. Get a little...
Little mithril.
Little mithril.
Little mithril. Yep, like it.
It says steelwood plate. I thought it said Sleetwood, and I was like, Sleetwood Mac.
Steelwood Mac. Steelwood Mac could still work.
Steelwood plate. This armor was built using the incredibly hard bark of a magical tree. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. Steelwood. Resistance to slashing.
Yeah. Ping.
Corrupted chainmail.
Ooh.
Whoa. This once shining set of chainmail has been soaking in corruption. Giving it unique properties.
Just imagine a giant pickle jar and you put your chainmail in there and just let it sit.
Once donning this armor cannot be removed non-magically. Oh, so it like adheres to your body.
Oof.
Gain resistant non-magical damage.
Whoa.
Whoa. Sky King's Guard. This one-of-a-kind armor is magically assembled from bones given to the worthy by the Sky King.
Like
Right
the Sky
on.
King's own bones?
Whoa.
No, it's bones that he's eaten. It's
Well, it's
bone-
like, yeah, is magically assembled from bones.
Yeah.
Given to the worthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does the Sky King also keep bones?
I think it's. I think they're imagining that it's like the bones of the Sky
Of its
King.
own bones.
But it's
okay.
even funnier if the Sky King was like, "Here are the things that I've eaten."
Which is also
Make a
great.
bone.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
think that's a good story
It's
too.
kind
You
of
are
Interesting.
worthy to eat or to use the bones that I've.
All right, what does this
captured.
thing do?
Can
Okay.
give you flying
Yep.
and inspiration. If you get hit by a spell, you are surrounded by an anti-magic field.
Mm.
That's pretty Sky King. Thank you.
Well, Sky, there's a lot of the things that Sky King has.
Yeah.
Whoa! If you die wearing this armor, you are instantly reincarnated as a spirit in a random location in the spirit realm.
I think
Also-
instead of it being random, you should become a spirit remora and just you hang out by the Sky King forever.
Whoa. You become a storm cloud that follows
Oh,
the
yeah.
Sky King. He
yeah.
always has the. Whoa! Wait a minute. That's
That's-
really interesting.
There's something neat there.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
I like it. Okay, I give this collection of weapons 35 chicken bones
yeah.
out of 34 chicken bones. 36 chicken bones.
I like the collectible lunch boxes used instead of chests bags of holding.
Yeah.
You have
That's
your
pretty
lunch
good.
box. That's
This list is huge. Again, highly recommend if you guys want ideas or to grab it. It sounds like this person is like, hey, here are all my ideas. Come and add to them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I dig it.
Sounds like a party.
I dig it. Very cool stuff. Dot matrix printers as a magic item is also really
Love
fun.
it.
So for this one, another subclass here, the corruption magic or the corrupted magic sorcerer.
You are gifted or perhaps cursed with an innate magical connection to the corruption. While others become deathly ill when exposed to it, your body has the inexplicable ability to house the corruption without becoming sick or otherwise physically twisted by it. Your bond with the vile substance is so deep that you can even direct the flow of the corruption, being able to both channel it into your body to store it for your personal use and then shunt it from yourself into the land to harvest magical energy from it and shape that energy into natural spells.
Whoa. Adam, give me 3 oofs.
Yeah. Yet, while this ability grants you great power, like the corruption itself, it both gives and takes. Your magic might be potent, young Jedi, but requires actively spreading the corruption into Obojima to utilize.
Oh.
Whoa.
This person's bad.
Whoa.
This person's a meanie.
Well, okay, hold on. Hold the phones.
Hold on.
Oh, wait a minute.
I was fracking for a good
Whoa,
reason.
You were pumping swamp water into the bedrock there for a minute there, buddy. This person, like they don't, maybe they're not too aware of what they're doing. Maybe they're like, this is a resource and they're in a bubble. Obojima's not all on the internet or something.
Yeah, people don't know what this thing is.
Yeah. And so they're just like, I just all of a sudden have this facility with it.
There's also, one of the things I thought of when I first heard of this, or while you were reading, is the idea that this is the first of. So with sorcerers, the way sorcerers' magic works is it's through your bloodline. So this would be this person is like starting a bloodline. Like their children will be this corrupted person.
Right, this is changing their being.
Yeah, this is like a hereditary sickness that will continue on through their children.
Well, I'm not sure. So the way I see sorcerers, and I know that it's usually through bloodlines, I don't think it has to be. I think it just means that the magic you use is innate. You know what I mean? Like it's part of who you are. So if I, it's like it's very superhero like, right? I got hit with gamma radiation and now I'm the Incredible Hulk, right?
Yeah.
But that's now part of me. It's an innate thing that I can do.
Wait, consume? Did they make new spells?
The corruption caster.
They did.
Consume Vitae.
And
Whoa.
empowering corruption
Empowering
and corruption
corruption
patch.
Wow.
Corruption field. Transfer youth.
What?
The corrupted waters.
Wow.
We've got a lot going on here.
This is a...
There's something here that I think, even if, not a subclass, that there's a type of caster that would be found in, in the monster section, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is really cool stuff for powerful spellcasters you might encounter.
This almost feels like what if a Oni was corrupted?
Yeah.
Like, what if a demon, like a powerful, double
Yeah.
corrupted?
Yeah.
Well, like Venomous Rex. Venomous Rex is corrupted, and it starts to eat away at Venomous Rex. What if and spirits turn to demons, but we've never talked about what happens to a demon when it touches corruption.
Whoa.
Extra bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's what kind of formation comes from that? Like, how is a demonic creature changed?
So I think that's cool. I think a lot of this stuff is exciting for things you would encounter.
Yeah.
For enemies. So
I mean,
think
this
that's really
is
cool.
Definitely the darker side of what Obojima can do, for sure.
Yeah, this is quite. There is a lot here, and it's all very like. It's the deepest, darkest parts of Howl's Moving Castle and Princess Mononoke.
Is there a heroic version of this?
A heroic version of this? I think a heroic version of this could be. Well, it depends on how deep the corruption is. But a heroic version of this could be you, like a martyr, taking on the corruption.
I was thinking the same thing. Yep.
Like, you gain the power, but you're sickening yourself. Like,
Yeah.
you're taking on.
You're absorbing it.
It's like if you could you could secondhand smoke. Like, so you, like, all these people are smoking around you, and you're taking all the cancerous things that are occurring and taking it onto yourself.
You're basically a filter feeder.
Yeah.
Like you're I don't know, there's been things where they've been trying to experiment with like taking mycelium and putting it on like oil spills and like absorbing it up, and it takes the toxins and like it just processes it and then just turns it into like their little fungal spores or whatever. Like, maybe this character does that.
Yeah, this subclass is like quite it is quite intense, but I like it. It's the darkest parts of these films, the side of Obojima.
Mm-hmm.
I think right now, as it currently sits, I agree with Ari, where it lends itself more to like a monster than it does an actual playable subclass.
Yeah, and a big bad.
Yeah, if you were to swap it over to be, taking on the burden, or maybe not. I think it's the spreading of the corruption that's the hard part.
Yeah, and the necromancy and stealing of youth. But we won't go there.
We won't get too deep.
The consuming of vitae, like like Ari was saying, like, what's the heroic version of this? Then that would be the subclass.
Yeah.
But this is an awesome villain for sure.
Yeah. I like this quite a bit.
Terrifying villain.
Yeah.
At that.
As spooky as heck villain.
Oh yeah. This would scare the pants.
If you're going with corruption as kind of your your storyline and your adventure, like, you've embraced that, your players are all in on the corruption and trying to figure out, like, and you're basically trying to freak them out because the corruption is scary.
Yeah.
This having a demon that was corrupted by the corruption is freaky.
Yeah.
Like, that is really scary.
That is
Super
cool.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
With that, there is so much more to go over.
It's just cool to see people put this stuff together.
It's super cool. I want more of it. I want endless amounts of it. I want monsters. I want magic items. I want to see people's personal characters, PCs that they're playing through Obojima.
And even what we were talking earlier is like looking on the Discord and saw the Naku language and
being
people
discussed,
developing the language and developing Torum. That would be super cool to see that stuff.
It's just, to me, it's fascinating in that, when we're writing this book, we know we have this intent, and obviously each one of us has our own kind of take on what Obojima is, but then it's only real when it's out there, and seeing what people do with it is this is a great episode, at least for me personally. I think it's a lot of fun.
I want to do more. I want to do more.
Mhm.
Maybe we won't wait until for another 10K. Maybe we'll do something at 15K.
No,
Do another special.
Gotta
at
do another
15K.
10. That means we gotta
Yeah,
spread the word.
Make fake accounts.
That's right. Bot it up.
Bot it up.
Bot it up.
Someone pay money. Bot it up. Get us up to 10K, and we'll do another.
Use that AI for good.
Okay, this is what I'll say. Jesus. Here's what I will say. This is the last thing. A lot of people wanted us to play a D&D game, like a one shot. And I will say this much. I'm not against it, but we are hard at work on the next set of projects and things like that. And maybe when there's some time in the future where we're not so busy, because if we're going to do it, we want to do it right. And we'll see. All I'll say is we'll see. I'm not against it, but not right now.
But not this
Maybe
day.
at 50,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Get those bots going.
It's all about the bots.
It's all about the bots.
I don't even know what bots are.
And with that, thank you for watching. Happy Subscriber Day.
Yeah.